right, we're ready to get going again. If everyone could give us your attention. I know a lot of people have devices. Maybe you reach in there and put it on vibrate or turn that thing off. At this time, I'd like to recognize the city manager of the city of Cherryville, Mr. Brian Dalton.
Mayor Beam was not able to be here tonight, but on behalf of the city of Cherryville, we'd like to welcome all the teams, all the fans, all the coaches, all the Hall of Fame inductees to the city of Cherryville. And if there's anything you need while you're here, please do not hesitate to come to us, and we'll help you any way possible. But at this time, I would like to recognize Jill Pewitt. She is the past American Legion Auxiliary Department President, and she's also the Mayor Pro Tem for the city of Cherryville. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. It is such an honor to have everyone here and to be the host for the North Carolina State Tournament, and to also welcome the Hall of Fame inductees. And with that being said, with all of you being here and what Brian has said, he has been wonderful in helping to get this thing going. Jerry Hudson couldn't be here, and he's worked on this for 15 months. But he did ask me through 3 phone calls today, he told me to please, on behalf of him, to thank his son Lance Hudson here, City Manager Brian Dalton, and Jill Pewitt, me. I said, I think I know who I am, Patty. But he also wanted Bobby Dale Reynolds to be thanked, Ned Yates over here, and our press people that have all come together for these meetings that we've had. And a lot of our auxiliary people some of them are in this room. They have been in these servers here. They are members of First Baptist Church. And one of the things we want to do is to give our heartfelt thanks and appreciation to the First Baptist Church, to Pastor Vince Hevner, and our auxiliary members that are here, and thank them for what they've done for all of us. Also, Patty would like for me to be sure and thank also everyone else that you know who you are that has helped to get us here today. Plus, we have 2 here that we want to thank because through their help, we've been able to do a lot of the things we've done over there in the ball stadium. And I'd like to have him stand, but I don't know that he's in his seat right now. Senator Ted Alexander, I think he must have stepped out. Okay. And we have the North Carolina House of Representatives, Kelly Hastings, and his wife, Anika, that are here. Both of these gentlemen have been very instrumental in helping us receive funding that we needed to do that field with. Also, one of the other things I'd like to do at this time is ask all of our veterans in this room to please stand, because we honor and we appreciate the service of every one of our veterans here tonight. And thank you all. And Pastor Vince Hevner is an Army veteran, and I guess you could tell that with the way he run this operation tonight. He must have been in strategic planning. But we really, really want to thank you all for being here, and it is such an honor to have you. Anyone that needs anything from us, and all you ball players, we are so honored to have you here, and hope you have the most wonderful experience here in this state tournament. So thank you all for being here.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, coaches, ball players. I would like to recognize a past department commander and current Judge Advocate General, Gaither Keener. Thank you for joining. I'd also like to recognize past department commander and current department historian, Bill Richards. Thank you. Past Department Commander Jim Quinlan, thank you. And our Department Adjutant, Mark Hopple, thank you. Also, I would like to recognize the American Legion Auxiliary Department President, Tony Reedy, thank you. And her husband, Joe. Division III Auxiliary President, Lynette Christensen. And our American Legion Auxiliary Historian, Linda Quinlan. Thank you. Just a couple logistics items, actually one. We've got some rain that's coming down. We're going to postpone the Home Run Derby after this event. It's in the best interest of the field. We will have to cancel that. Tonight, we gather to celebrate 6 servants whose unwavering dedication and selfless service to the American Legion Baseball have left an indelible mark on our community and the American Legion family. We have 6 inductees into the North Carolina American Legion Hall of Fame. I will name them off, and if we'll go through each one of them, and if you can please join us up here at the podium, we'll issue you and your representative a plaque. First one is our 2024 inductees, Walker Lee Allen. Now, real quickly, I just want to talk about Lee a little bit so he doesn't have to do any talking. For over 2 decades, Lee has exemplified the Legion's 4 pillars: Veterans Affairs and Rehabilitation, Americanism, Children and Youth, and National Security, with unparalleled dedication. Lee his tenure as post commander and his roles on the athletic committee for Post 39 bear testament to his leadership and vision. Under his guidance, this program has thrived. Lee has put in countless hours fundraising, organizing registrations, ensuring the smooth operation of the Post 39 baseball games, all while serving as the voice of Post 39 and the occasional scoreboard operator. His meticulous attention to detail and commitment to excellence have not only elevated our program, but have also garnered respect and admiration throughout our community. So, Lee Allen, congratulations again. Thank you. Give you a couple of minutes to say a few things.
Thank you. I told John that I had planned to say a few things, and I was going to start out by telling you how smart he was. Because that's true, but then when he told me he was going to give me a microphone, I thought, John, never give a lawyer an open mic, never. But I do, in the interest of time, there are a lot of people that I need to thank that I'll never remember, other than my wife, Wendy, who drove all the way up here and is missing part of her vacation for this. But it is truly an honor. The best people in the world are Legionnaires and members of the Legion family. And I am humbled and thankful for this honor.
Thank you, Mr. Allen. Our next inductee is posthumous on behalf of Gaither Keener will receive this award on behalf of Richard Keener.
Oh, do something for me. It's my honor and my pleasure to accept this award from my older brother. Richard qualified for the American Legion, serving our country for 15 years in the Army National Guard and the United States Army. He joined when he was 17 years of age. And he continued to serve the country as he joined the American Legion, North Wilkesboro, Post 31, as a charter member. Later, he moved his membership Post 29 in Caldwell County, where he lived, and became very active at that post. He served as commander, he served finance officer, the athletic officer, and any athletic officer knows that you raise the money, you sign your own personal notes, and that personally you clean the heads, you clean everything around the stadium and make sure everything's taken care of. My brother also had the opportunity to serve on the Department of the American Legion Commission, which runs all the youth programs for our department. And he also served on the American Legion Council at Nashville. Richard volunteered for about every baseball game in Caldwell County for over 3 decades. And he served, like I said, numerous roles. But his most proud was being the athletic director. And he worked hard to keep that program growing. And he worked hard cleaning the heads, the bathrooms. That's a servant leader. When my brother was not at a Post 29 game, he and his buddies were at a away game at Post 29. And if they wasn't playing, you would see my brother with Fatty in Cherryville, or he would be at Kings Mountain, or he'd be in Hickory, always going to a baseball game. You would say the old Southpaw at state tournaments, regional tournaments, and the World Series. My friend, Jim Quinlan, made sure he always had a rocking chair to sit in. And my brother always wanted at least 50 general admission tickets to the American Legion World Series to give to those friends of his and those individuals that couldn't afford to go to the tournament. But there's one aspect about my brother that's still remembered by my Yankee friends who come down south for the American Legion World Series. That was my brother, free Southern tomato sandwiches with Duke mayonnaise on white sunbeam bread, served on the tailgate of his truck, which he would take one of my parking spaces so he could sit right there and just dish them out to 50 to 100 people. So many Yankees never ever had those sandwiches before, and they fell in love with them. They fell in love with those sandwiches so much, they tried to make their own duplicates up north, and they failed. Why did they fail? Because they used Kraft, Hellsman, and all those other mayonnaise. Anybody in the South knows you have to use Duke mayonnaise. So when they asked my brother what was his secret sauce, he said it's Duke mayonnaise. They couldn't find it in Indiana. They couldn't find it in Massachusetts. So what he did, he sent a care package to every one of them of 2 jars of Duke mayonnaise. Now, with that said, after numerous requests by my Yankee friends, Walmart is now carrying Duke's mayonnaise up north in the Midwest, for these people can enjoy my brother's tomato sandwiches. His family's here, Keith, his son, Regina, his daughter, Susan, his daughter-in-law, and Holly. I accept this for the family. Dad, bring me the other one up, please. It's my honor that my brother was inducted to the American Legion World Series Hall of Fame, the Wall of Fame. He's now part of the Cash Leadership Award. Holly, this is for you.
Our next inductee is Marshall Ramsey. Do we have somebody? Oh.
When I tell you about Marshall Ramsey, you're going to understand why it's an honor to be here standing in for him. Marshall was a great guy. He lost his wife in June of a year ago, and he never got over it. He grieved until he passed away in June of this year. So I'm accepting for Marshall Ramsey, and I'll see that his family gets his plaque. He was a good man. He was a finance officer. Whatever we needed, Marshall would stand up for it. So thank you for being here and being here for this honor.
Our next inductee is Jay Hefner, post 100.
They told me Bobby Dale was going to introduce me, but then they found out my kids were coming tonight, so they had to nix all the language. So here's Bobby Dale, obviously called me and told me he was going to nominate me for this, which is a huge honor. And he said, just be brief, 3 to 5 minutes, talk about your memories, talk about things that that meant the most to you playing for Cherryville. And I played here for 4 years, so there's a ton of memories, like way too many to recount tonight. But that's really the easy part, is like thinking about on the fun we had and the magnitude of Cherryville baseball and like what it meant to be, get a base hit and you're the hometown hero for the next couple of days. So crowds like showing up at 9 o'clock in the morning to put their chairs out for the game that night, things like that. Just support from a small town and those surrounding towns just mean like so much, and just really fun to play with. Our trip to Bartlesville, Oklahoma with David Wise there was just an unbelievable trip. Most of us, it was a weird year that year where we could come back after our freshman year of college. So I think we had like 7 of our 9 players, I think, were college players. And we came back and put a good run together. And I remember talking to some of my teammates in college and asking them what they were going to do for the summer. And they're going off to play in summer leagues wherever, Cape Cod, Coastal Plains League. And I said, I'm going back to Cherryville. I'm going to go play Legion ball again. And they barely even knew what Legion ball was, 1. And 2, one of our coaches overheard our conversation at the time, and he interjected in the conversation, and he said, wherever you're going to play, if you take your crowd over to Cherryville and play those rest of those high school guys, it's not going to be good for you. So that was just kind of what everybody did. You always come back to Cherryville anytime you can to play. Speaking of Bobby Dale, things, and again, like things that really stick out to me, playing here and being a part of it, that like really encapsulates my experience, are some of the quotes that Bobby Dale used to say. And everybody's laughing up here behind me. Everybody has 3 or 4 quotes at the tip of their tongue of what Bobby Dale's going to say at any given moment. They all have their stories. But there's a couple of them that really stand out to me and kind of help me project on to like this time of my life and things that I still think about. And one of my favorites was, quote, I treat everybody consistently. Some of you I'll treat consistently good. Some of you I'll treat consistently bad. If you're hitting 400 and want to go to the beach for a couple days, you'll be in the lineup the day you get back. If you're hitting 200 and go to the beach, you might as well stay there. Which really speaks to just the magnitude, like I said, of charitable baseball, American Legion baseball here. It's just a different aura, a different obligation, a different level of accountability. If you play here and you play for this town and play for Bobby Dale, and playing with, every day you have veterans around you all day long. And we kind of fell into, we're playing for those guys. We're playing to honor what they did as veterans. And it was just such an honor to be with them and to hear their stories and play baseball really for them. And again, with that quote, like it also makes me think about baseball in a different way and how I started thinking about baseball in a different way. It wasn't just a game anymore. It meant so much more. The business side of things, which is what I do now, working for the Texas Rangers, has really helped me as far as making decisions about players and thinking about players in a different way, and the transaction cost and the opportunity cost of taking this player over the other player. And that was kind of the infant stages that allowed me to start thinking about baseball in a different way. The other quote that stands out to me, and as everybody knows, travel baseball has become a huge thing nowadays, and travel baseball is great. We as scouts, we go see travel baseball all the time. It's great. But this was a little bit later after I finished playing and was scouting. Bobby Dale called me, and he was talking about one of his better players was going to go play travel ball. And as you can imagine, he wasn't entirely thrilled about that. So I asked him what he told the kid, and he said he told the kid, "I don't care, go play travel ball, take 2 weeks off, then go throw as hard as you can for 3 innings, and when you get done, go schedule your surgery." So to me, like, thinking about quotes like that, it makes me think about me playing Legion ball and what I got out of it, and just the value of just playing every single day and embracing that grind of playing every day and having something to play for, having a town to play for, and learning how to compete. That was the biggest thing that I learned playing Legion baseball, was how to compete day in, day out. Whatever you've got to do, like, just compete, go win, go play for these veterans. Recently in the draft, a couple of days ago, we took Dalton Pence, who's left-handed pitcher for University of North Carolina, played for Cherryville for several years, and back in our war room in Arlington, we're talking about players, we're breaking them down, and the selling point for me, talking to the front office about Dalton, was, I said, "Look, guys, you don't understand, like, this guy comes from a different place than these other kids we're talking about. This is a place that he got flipped the ball and said, I don't care what you do, we need a win tonight. This is where this guy comes from. He's got some kind of grit, some kind of compete on the mound." And the reality of it is, in today's landscape of travel ball, most guys really don't know how to compete. But the kids who are playing Legion baseball, like you guys out there, you're learning how to compete day in, day out, and that stuff really matters. Your learning curve as you get into college baseball, as you get into professional baseball, the learning curve is nowhere close, not as steep as it would be otherwise. So you guys are building that foundational intelligence and aptitude for the game that is really second to none. Again, like, charitable means so much to me. It's such a different place. It really is. We had so much fun playing here, some of the best summers of my life, and able to play in front of these guys, like I said, the veterans every day was really just invaluable, and also learned some new 4-letter word combinations from Bobby Dale in the process. So thanks again, I appreciate it.
Suitable for framing. You set that down.
This won't be long.
Please take a couple of words.
Well, I'd just like to thank the American Legion, Post 144-266, the baseball committee, and again, thank you all for this honor. I appreciate it. Thank you.
And our final inductee is Seth Atwell Graham, Salisbury, Post 342. And I don't think Seth could make it, so we'll go ahead and accept this award on his behalf. Ned, turn it back over to you.
Ned, all right. Well, as we come to the conclusion of our ceremony tonight, we hope you've had a good meal. We're sure you have. Hope you got enough to eat. I did want to, as we're celebrating the 24th North Carolina State Tournament, recognize each team before we leave, as we've recognized the Hall of Fame inductees. And Hall of Fame inductees, if you would please meet down front, really do need a picture. Bill Richard probably needs a picture. I don't know who all needs a picture, but people need a picture. I'd like to recognize these teams at this time. If you would, maybe the head coach could stand up. Post 10 from Wilmington, North Carolina, Coach Scott Sandlin. In the blue and gold, Wayne County, Post 11, Coach Adam Pate. Sorry about the pop. One of the two teams that my brief history I know is coming back, I believe, from Hamlet, North Carolina, Post 49, Chip Gordon is the head coach. One of our Area 4 teams, Shelby, Post 82, Coach Charlie Ruff. From High Point, was in the state tournament last year. Post 87, Luke Spiva, Coach Luke. From Union County, one of the teams being resurrected, this young man is putting a lot of work into that. Union County, Post 535, Brad Elwood. And before we just wanted to brag one more time before we introduce the host team. We're very proud of Dalton Pence. I especially, Dalton's grandmother was like a mentor to my wife in her career. So Dalton will always be special at our house just because of how cool his grandmother is. And also his daddy is about the size of a door and could knock me through a hole. So we don't want to get Dalton mad at us. But we're very proud of Dalton. We congratulate you and thank you and good luck to you. And then on behalf of, we'd like to introduce the head coach of Cherryville Post 100, returning again this year. Coach Bobby Reynolds is the head coach of Post 100. Again, we will have a closing statement from our Commissioner Pro Tem, Lance Hudson. And after that, if the inductees would meet us down front for a photograph. Thank you very much.
Just real quick, it's not a closing. I would also, on behalf of my father, would like to thank Tony Robinson and Mike Robinson for all the hard work that they put in this as well. And then just another special thanks, and it's coming from me and my father, to Mr. Cobble, Mark Cobble, for having all the faith in us in the Cherryville community. Mr. Keener, thank y'all so much. Y'all mean so much to us in this Cherryville community and American Legion Baseball. Thank y'all all, guys. And good luck to all your teams. Thank y'all.
And this is business, so please let me say this. We are so sorry that the Home Run Derby was canceled tonight. And I erred when I didn't inform the chairman earlier. Our Home Run Derby was sponsored this year, okay? That's how much a lot of these businesses care. Caramont, did I really? Gosh almighty. Wow. Okay, let me embarrass myself some more. I would like to recognize Coach Chris Cook, who's bringing his team back to the state tournament again this year, and that is Garner Post 232. And I'm going to hear about this till the wind quits blowing. I will never hear the end of this mistake. Coach Cook, but our Home Run Derby was sponsored this year. Our former city manager and fire chief, they were doing that in honor of Jeff Cash, who's a member here and was one of the servants tonight serving you. There he is, Fire Chief Jeff Cash, and longtime fire chief here in Cherryville. Caramont Health is local. They've come here recently and built a 24-hour clinic in our town, and that's a big deal. You don't have to drive to Gastonia or Shelby. And we're very thankful to Caramont. We thank them for the money. We thank them for buying the trophies. And so, well, we already got trophies for next year. So thank you very much, Caramont Health. I hope y'all have a great evening. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow.